Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our journey through Cormundum. I am your host, the uncommon guru of WhatTeamComp, and I'm trying something a little different today. Doing the PNG talk sprite type thing rather than just showing my face, just for a little bit more motion, as well as to test it out for potentially getting it for the other players in the future, so that when they speak, they'll have their own little talk sprites popping up and letting people know who is speaking and such. Just a little bit more for clarity's sake. But this is just a little test, and I figured, well, we'll keep running through the episode doing our thing. But just a mild, tiny little change as we get in. So, how are you all doing? You all doing good?
Good.
Been a good week?
Hmm?
Yeah. It's been that
I'm
kind
good.
of week for you, yeah.
Yeah.
My toilet's finally fixed after 2 days.
Huzzah! They fixed the pipe.
Woohoo!
Yeah, he had to actually, get a... Oh, I don't know what they're called. It's like a little car-sized fucking vehicle that digs up dirt for you when you operate it. Yeah, apparently a tree root had grown through the pipe. That was the issue.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh no.
That's... No. Oh, no.
Like,
Oh,
Doug
God.
replaced it. So hopefully my toilet doesn't break again.
I mean, the last time it broke, it sounds like it was, Anyways. So, y'all remember where we last left off?
Mm-hmm.
I was busy in a tavern.
You were
No,
shopping with Serenity.
Yeah, I got the armor.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he has armor now.
Mm-hmm.
And Elizabeth left Artemis up in the tower and is running away.
And Artemis is up in the tower.
Artemis is just like, man, I'm relaxing, I'm having a good time. This is
She is not relaxed.
That was meant to sound a lot more sarcastic.
Yeah, she's having a great time.
She's having a great time.
Having a great time.
Trying not to panic.
It's not that either. It's just it's complicated.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be playing a Mogus at the same time because achievement hunting.
How dare you? So as far as where we left off, I think Elizabeth was making her way back to the tavern.
She's running in that general direction.
Oh, in that general direction?
In the direction of tavern.
Yeah, she is running in the direction of tavern in the middle of having a panic attack.
That's my favorite time to run in the direction of tavern.
Oh,
Okay.
She would have to go back to the tavern anyways before doing anything else, so let's say she's heading back to the tavern.
Mm-hmm. You slightly barrel into the tavern. The tavern keeper kind of glances up, kind of looks at you very perplexed and confused. There's maybe one other person there who looks to be the bard, who's tuning up, ready for the next performance. Kind of perks up, oh, someone. It's just one person. I'll skip.
Rebel was being a little jittery.
Hmm?
Rebel was a little jittery.
Yeah, the music wasn't wanting to play.
He disconnected. Anyway, sorry, continue.
Oh yeah, so yeah, Elizabeth will stand at the entrance of the tavern, having a panic attack, and go running upstairs to her room, and slam the door behind her and have most of her moment in there by herself.
Mm-hmm.
But in something that she's prone to doing, gathers up most of her stuff, which isn't very much, and runs back downstairs.
Okay. As you're running down the stairs, the one of the tavern maids is kind of like walking up the stairs, and they kind of jump as you run down the stairs. Like, oh,
Sorry.
uh, are you all right?
She'll just like hand her a gold and keep running.
Ma'am,
Yes.
before you do anything drastic, the barkeep would like to offer you some water and a small meal.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
She nods and smiles, and she has like a what appears to have been like a little tray. A few of the items fell off when she almost ran into you. She jumped up, was startled. She leans down and starts like cleaning up. Looks like be water, some crackers that are now soaked from the water.
Well, seeing as Elizabeth didn't eat really anything for breakfast, she'll help clean things up, and even if the crackers are soaked, she'll take the offered meal.
Yeah. When you were eating the wet crackers, she kind of looks. She's like, she kind of kind of laughs off like, the meal is at the bar, but
I know, but I'm taking the crackers. Yeah, and she'll just head downstairs.
Very well. Yeah,
Okay.
The barkeep has just a pint of water, and when you look into it and you kind of like hold up, there's like a faint, like a hint of wine smell to it, which you guess this is probably a one that is kept in a more cool area. I mean, this is like an actual cold glass of water with the wine used to help clean it and preserve it.
Very shakily, Elizabeth will sit down at the bar.
And the bartender doesn't say anything to you for a bit, but whenever you're getting a little lower on the water, he kind of like just comes over every now and then and gives you a little refill.
At
it's like
first,
a kind of charcuterie board of snacks.
Well, at first, Elizabeth is shaking so badly that the water has spilt a few times every time she tries to take a sip, causing more of whatever's on the platter to get wet. But she will eat it almost absent-mindedly.
Yep. He doesn't say anything. He just refills your drink. Lets you snack.
After a while, Elizabeth will start mumbling stuff to herself. Stuff about midnight and blackouts.
Please tell me we come in here.
Not yet.
So yeah, Elizabeth will finally finish eating. And when he comes over to refill the glass, she'll put a hand over it to stop him, saying no more.
Yeah, he sets it to the side and kind of leans against the table.
Thank you for that, by the way.
Very few people kind of run through here like they're bat out of hell.
I had my reasons.
I didn't say you didn't have your reasons. Everyone has a reason. But you're good.
Never better.
So no, got it. No judging, not asking.
It's gonna take a lot for me to be better, but I do thank you for the food.
Of course.
What do I owe you?
A couple copper pieces, say 5.
No. She puts a silver on the table, or on the bar, and slides it over to him.
Takes it, doesn't question it, just nods.
I need to go.
Go where?
I've got stuff I've got to do.
Need directions? I know you're still pretty new here.
No, I know exactly where I need to go right now.
All right. Well, I look forward to seeing you tonight. you and your friends haven't fully checked out and all that.
No, yeah, totally. Totally. We'll see you tonight.
Nods to you.
She stands up still. When she stands up, the shaking is back, but it's in her legs as she starts making her way to the door of the tavern.
Mm-hmm. All right. Where are you headed?
Well, once outside the tavern, she's going to pull her hood up over her head and start walking in the direction that they entered the town.
Okay. Are you walking towards there to leave the town, or?
Yes.
Figured.
Elizabeth is in fight or flight, and she's taking flight.
Gotcha. As you're pulling up the hood, that is when Serenity and Aurelius are coming by, and they do see you pulling up your hood and stepping out, all shaky-legged and such.
Would they even recognize Aurelius with this new armor set on?
Elizabeth isn't paying attention to anybody right now.
You two know
Fair enough.
more than she notes you two.
It's new armor. It's not like your face has changed, though.
I mean, but she hasn't really seen his face all that often because he covers it and is hooded usually.
So Elizabeth is just very much set and determined, and probably even turns her back to both of you as you're coming up, because she's going to be walking the opposite way.
I'm gonna walk up to her and touch her.
Elizabeth will jump at that and turn around with her hand on her sword, ready to pull.
Oh!
Physically jump?
Yeah. She's not.
Aurelius jumps with her.
I'm not the undead chicken.
I
also have a name
Wasn't
for the undead chickens, by the way.
You do? I'm sure you do. Elizabeth will take her hand off the sword, but she will hide her face using her hood to hide in mostly shadow, and just take a small step back from Serenity and say, I did not expect to see you guys so soon.
Why are you hiding?
Comfort?
Hang on.
Aurelius is still.
Oh, I rolled the GM, but that's a nat 20 insight.
You wouldn't have to do that because Elizabeth is very shaky, even though her hood is up, and she is taking a step in the direction that you guys remember entering town.
Are you trying to leave?
Stuff came up.
Such as?
We don't have enough time for me to explain it all.
Well, we can make time.
I'm pretty hungry. I could eat.
I've already eaten.
Okay, so have a drink then.
I've had water.
I don't think I'll go.
Not enough water.
I really, guys, I really need to go.
Whatever's troubling you, we can handle it as a group.
I'm not putting you into this.
Aurelius just looks at his set of armor and the giant sword over his back.
Shiny.
He's distracted, yeah.
I'm not putting you guys into what's going on with me. I'm not. I can't. I'm not going to.
You're running from the group because of something that you clearly deem a threat.
Been a threat for years.
Oh, God! I was in Elizabeth's fucking character sheet!
What? What?
I rolled insight from Elizabeth's character sheet.
How did you roll a Paris?
How did you do that?
I don't know! I don't know!
Comp,
Yeah.
we can
How are you
all
online?
see Elizabeth's character sheet.
Why?
I don't know. It's just been there
I'm
the
gonna-
whole time.
I mean, that's still a nat 20, but it's a 22 instead of a 25. I was wondering about that. I'm like, why the fuck is my insight so high?
Why are you rolling from my stuff?
Why? Why can all of you see this? This isn't correct. Get out of there.
The good
Out.
thing I'm
Out.
only
Everybody
partially
leave.
paying
Everybody
attention.
leave, please.
Out.
I clicked out of it. I clicked out of it!
Get out.
Okay.
I clicked out of it the minute I realized that it wasn't mine!
Just
Baby, you can blame it all on me.
Wait, what?
She said, "Come back.
Baby, you
Come
can
back."
blame it
You
all
can blame
on
What kind of
me.
logic is that?
I don't know what
no.
happened.
You were wrong.
I only saw one thing.
There's a lot there.
Don't worry, I'm sure I'll forget it in the next, like, 3 weeks.
Okay, great. Cause yeah, there's some stuff.
I saw something in flaws, I'm like, that's not right. Oh!
You'll
What?
forget it soon.
She looks... Oh, I was also wondering why my gold was so low that.
I've been handing out silver and gold left and right while you guys were gone. But yeah,
You're like, what the fuck am I poor?
Anyway,
Anyway.
but yeah, Elizabeth is not making any movement back towards the tavern, and has her head down in a way not to make eye contact with either of you.
Elizabeth, we're your friends. We're here to help you.
To them, you're collateral.
I'm collateral either way, with or without you. Elizabeth, regardless of what situation I'm in, I am in danger. I would rather be in danger helping someone than just dealing with shit alone. Nothing that is after you could be much worse than what is after me.
There's a moment where Elizabeth says or does nothing before she takes a brick that she had taken from the tower and practically shoves it into Serenity's arms and says, "You should go find Artemis," and turns on her heels.
She grabs her shoulder.
Which shoulder?
Right.
Oh no.
I can't, because I remember one of hers is fucked up, but I, out of character, can't remember which one.
You grabbed the wrong one.
So then Serenity would have probably grabbed the left, because she knows yours is fucked and wouldn't try to grab your injured shit. She's learned from Artemis!
Well, Elizabeth is going to stiffen, stand up straight, and smack your hand off her shoulder. Don't touch me.
Elizabeth, you can't keep running away from it. I want to help you, but you have to let me help you.
Aurelius is fiddling with his hilt.
Are you not tired of running?
I'm always tired.
Then let me help you.
Serenity, when we were back in that tower, and we were talking about hometowns and all that wonderful stuff, remember when I brought up Coravin, and you know a little
Yes.
bit about it?
Yes.
Have you ever heard of the term blackout being mentioned with Coravin?
Dawn.
roll a history check.
Boop, boop, ba-doo. Or am I gonna get another fucking 17?
You can go ahead and tell her. If you'd like, or I can.
You can.
Well, I'll explain it as Elizabeth then.
As Elizabeth, yes. Because I imagine she just plows straight into the explanation.
There is a group of, some call it hired muscle, others call it mercenaries, they have a name for themselves called the Blackouts. I did them wrong. I did them very wrong. And they've been looking for me for the past few years. I thought they thought I was dead. They know
So,
I'm alive. They have to know I'm alive because they've come here looking for me.
so you have a gang after you.
It's more than that. They're very dangerous.
Elizabeth?
They're the reason why there's that whole family civil war happening in Corrivan.
Elizabeth,
What?
would you like to know why I still consider what's after me more dangerous?
Why?
She will lean close so no one can hear this or mouth read. I have an entire sect of a church hunting me down to kill me.
Aurelius doesn't hear that.
She will look Elizabeth dead in her face. Hence why I say, I am willing to help you with this.
I had to mentally remind myself that it was whispers.
Elizabeth will meet Serenity's gaze, and you can just barely see her eyes under her hood. I'm a bad person, Serenity. I'm a very bad person. I am not somebody you want to put your hat in the ring with.
So far from what I've seen, you're a good person. You're just a good person who's scared.
You see what I want you to see.
Then show me what you actually are and prove that it's not worth it.
I'm a blackout.
She tilts her head.
I'm one of them.
And?
Elizabeth is going to realize they're outside right now. And is there somewhere around DM that she can literally yank Serenity to where nobody can hear them?
Probably
there's
an
an
alley.
alley. Yeah, there's an alley that you could probably get away with that.
The fact that you're
Okay.
yanking Serenity.
Elizabeth has some strength. Elizabeth will she will take hold of the front of Serenity's clothing and drag her into the alley with her.
She'll follow.
Just leaves Aurelius.
Just playing with her sword like, this is so shiny. I love the little tassel. He's so distracted.
Yeah.
First
I imagine Aurelius looks up and everyone's gone.
this seems to be a running theme with Aurelius.
Well, they must have gone into the tavern.
Poor Aurelius.
Aurelius is left by himself and is like, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna go to the tavern, I guess."
Poor man.
You go in and the barkeep waves you over with a bottle for you to enjoy.
Elizabeth will get maybe just a little too close to Serenity for comfort.
Serenity stares out at you with the same expression she's been wearing.
This is between you and I only.
I
Understood?
figured since you dragged me into a dark alleyway.
I almost started doing a speech that would be so out of character but so fitting. I have a particular set of skills.
Elizabeth has a daughter! I knew
you know that, and you'll just kind of see all the cheerful features go back to the way you saw it back in the up in the tower when she was hurt. But a grin crosses her face that wasn't there before, but you've seen a few times while she's fighting.
She continues to stare at her.
Oh, I know. I'm just letting you know that her whole demeanor is changing with what she's about to say. You know that Civil War that was talked about that
Yes.
you were aware of?
Yes.
That's because of me.
Don, who's on either end of the Civil War? I can't fucking remember. It's been so long.
You don't know the specific families, but you know that it is effectively Corvin itself is in a civil war.
Do I know exactly what the reason is, or do I just know it's like that?
You did explain it when she
You,
did the history check.
it was explicitly mentioned that it began over an assassination,
Oh, okay.
and everyone started pointing fingers at each other. Like as soon as it happened, because it wasn't just like one like small group; it was like several members of the families.
So you assassinated the people.
That's what the rumor is.
So what's
And
the
I'll
truth?
do it again. They were
Alright, Dan.
alive when I left. They were alive when I left. I didn't kill anybody. I don't remember killing anybody. Her voice gets a little loud before she realizes that there's still people probably walking around.
I believe you.
They don't. They don't.
If I came out right now and said what I was, no one would believe that I wasn't evil either.
I can't bring you guys into this. I can't.
Elizabeth, did you think to ask us if we wanted to be into this, rather than deciding it for us? We've all seen hell. We've all been through a shit ton of things that we probably shouldn't have deserved to go through. But I know at least two of us like you enough to fight for you. Artemis is flighty, but Artemis has always been like that. Speaking of, where is Artemis?
Back in the tower.
Serenity kind of tilts her head. Where in the tower?
She went upstairs.
Okay, then she's fine. She's with the weasel.
That's what I thought. When Elizabeth is going to turn away from Serenity. The cold look, the smirk, everything is gone. And just the littlest bit of light catches her face, showing that she is crying.
Elizabeth.
I don't have friends for a reason, Serenity. I don't.
None of us have friends for a reason, yet it seems like we're all together and want to be friends.
I can't make promises that I will stay. I can't. If I realize that they're close, and they were way closer than I thought, because last I heard they were still in Corvin, and no, they are not. But if I find out that they are close by, I am leaving and not taking you guys with me because I cannot put you guys in danger.
Elizabeth?
What?
Again, we're already in danger. You all have a danger just by keeping me in the group. Why would I not give you the same courtesy?
At that, Elizabeth will just look up at Serenity, and the tears, it's visible that she's fighting them back to have a cold, blank expression. Look up at her because I'm sure there is a height difference. And
5'8".
Oh, there's only an inch difference between.
Yeah, Serenity's not that tall. She's just taller than average.
I just thought that she was a lot taller. So
No,
it makes
her other character.
Okay, it helps look so she can look. She was gonna look Serenity in the eye with a very obviously holding back tears expression, trying to look cold, and like the emotion isn't getting to her anymore, and just softly, but knowing that Serenity can hear her, say, "If you wake up one morning and I'm not there, don't say I didn't warn you," and just push past her and go back into the tavern.
She'll put her arm in front of her.
Let me go. Let me go.
It's okay to feel emotions as opposed to holding them back like you are.
Let me go, Serenity.
She will walk backwards, so her arm's not in front of her, but the body is.
I was just going back to the tavern. Let me go.
I know you were going back to the tavern.
I'm not asking again, Serenity. Let me go.
She will move slightly to the side.
Without anything else, Elizabeth is purposely going to shoulder check Serenity as she walks by and go into the tavern.
You don't need to put on a face, and if you don't want to hurt us, then you don't need to leave.
She's not going to say anything else. She's going to walk into the tavern, not acknowledge Aurelius, and go back up to her room.
I'm gonna go up to the tower and try and get Artemis.
Okay. You have the bricks, so you can enter. But so
That's why Elizabeth gave it to you. If she wanted you to go to...
yeah, so Aurelius sees Elizabeth coming back in, just goes upstairs, doesn't talk to him, just like, oh no, Aurelius.
She
No.
sees Elizabeth stomping back in, throwing a fit, and going right up to her room. How dare her parents speak to her this way? What a tantrum!
There's no, it's not really a storm. It's just, though she is wearing her cloak, so it might rustle a bit behind her like a cape as she walks up the stairs.
I thought I was the Batman allegory.
No, you are. This is the teenage tantrum allegory.
So the Damian Wayne Robin.
Yeah.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
This is
So
the
how
Damian
funny-
Wayne Robin. I should be able to kill all the people in this room and then myself moment because I'm the only one who could.
Mm-hmm. And Elizabeth is gonna just... You'll hear a slam from upstairs.
I gotta finish off the teenage tantrum somehow.
And if it's very slight, but if anybody's walking by in the hall, they can hear crying behind the door.
The barkeep, after a little bit of time, just like staring up, and then slowly looks to Aurelius and just puts another drink in front of him and just like, that's on me.
You gotta deal with her. I'm sorry, man. Take this.
Oh yeah.
Don't worry, I'll see if I can deal with it when I get back, but I gotta get the baby.
Excuse you, I'm the oldest one here.
And you
That
still
doesn't
look like the baby of the group!
You say that, and as soon as you say yeah,
Aurelius,
perks up as you say babies.
Aurelius just looks to the tavern keep and he asks, "You want to join me?"
Looks around, pulls out a bottle, pops the cork, leans against it, nods, and just takes a swig.
I was about to say, I don't think you can drink on the job, but fuck me, I guess.
There's no laws against it here.
This
Think of the
isn't
time
real
period.
world. This is fantasy.
Yeah.
Fantasy.
And he's like, hey, there's no one else in the room but you, so I mean, there's also the bar, the bard over there who's like, playing music, but fuck it. Might as well.
It takes a drink together with him.
Mm.
Yeah, looks over to Serenity and goes, "So,
Oh.
Serenity left.
Serenity left to get Artemis. She will pop her head in and go... I will say this. She will pop her head into Aurelius and go, I'm going to be right back. I need to get the last member of our party.
Okay."
So he at least knows where she's going. He just dumped.
Yeah. Arvel, the bar.
Everyone's pulling a Batman Commissioner Gordon on Aurelius. Like,
really just turns around and is like,
No.
Oh.
You can't say that. I'm not pulling a Batman because I didn't leave without telling you shit.
you did earlier.
I was
you're
told.
So hold on a
cow.
second. So what we're hearing here is that Aurelius is the Batman character, Elizabeth is Damian Wayne, Paris's character is Dick Grayson.
No. I refuse to be Dick Grayson.
You're the responsible one.
No, I refuse to be Dick Grayson on the grounds of how he broke up with Starfire on the comics.
No, we're not discussing that. We're saying
No,
that
no,
you're
no,
the
no, no, no.
responsible one of the Bat
One.
family.
Here's
Make me
also the
Batwoman.
that means
most
that-
worded.
Make me Batwoman then, because I'm gay.
and fucking Artemis is Tim.
Why?
Because
You're the smartest.
You're smart
Okay.
and gay.
Yeah, okay.
No,
I like how-
that's new canon.
I like how quick that was. Yeah, okay.
But yeah, so you go. To
I
the
want
tower.
my own Alfred.
Hire one.
You're
Alfred's
not sharing an Alfred?
Dude. Legit. Alfred's the best member of the Bat family. No one can change my mind.
No, I
He
fucking.
is.
There's a comic where he beats the shit out of Superman for her and
Dude,
Bruce.
I
like,
was there. I was there.
Alright.
So
I'm going
That
to
was
find. I'm going to
injustice.
find my girlfriend.
yes.
You're going to find the child.
Destroy the
Oh,
child.
this one here!
The tower's easy enough to find and get to and enter. Do you go discreetly at all, or do you just kind of walk in?
I tried not to be seen, but I'm in a
Okay,
white dress,
No,
so it,
if you're at least trying to not be seen, then you're waiting till people are like either not as compact in the area or not looking your way, because most people tend to look at this and be like, this is some arcane bullshit, and try visibly to not look at it. So when you get
Excellent.
to that point, you can actually just kind of wander in. That's why when Elizabeth and Artemis went in earlier, they were able to do so, because again, this is, to everyone else's eyes, a tower that has floating little bits that is just not touching the ground. It's just in the air. This is not a natural, normal thing to anyone's eyes, so they don't like it. This is weird to them.
oh lord, poor man. Alright.
Yep, but you enter back in and you see... one second here.
Yuhan?
Yeah, yep. Yuhan is not in the door, but like when you open the door, you see Yuhan kind of perk up and just kind of like he like throws up a hand with this look that just like, what the fuck kind of motions you in?
She throws up both hands like, I don't fucking know.
He motions you over. He's just like, are all of you just gonna keep cycling through in broad daylight? Is the measure of secrecy, travel by night, not mean anything to the good people anymore?
So I was raised on a farm.
Okay, well, you're no longer in the chicken coop. You're now riding with the foxes. You travel at night. What? You all are just coming in and
I
out.
love it. Does secrecy mean nothing to you, bitch? I lived on a farm for the first 18 years. No!
Yeah, I lived on a farm. Well, then get out of the chicken coop. You're in the fox's den. Quit that.
Foxes
Yeah,
are much
no.
more shy than you consider them. Never mind.
Oh, again, why do you think I am saying they travel at night and stuff? I'm not saying that we're foxes in the sense of being social. We're very social. You can see it kind of points over, and there's just there's a goblin who has another person like in the sense like they're riding like on their shoulders, and like, you know, that kid on the shoulders. Except that goblin also has the person in a headlock, like, give me my money, give me my money.
No, I'm saying if you want to consider a nocturnal, sneaky creature that fits with you, a coyote would be much more.
We don't have
Fitting?
coyotes here. Those are more in the south.
Well, no, I say that because have you ever heard what a fox sounds like when happy?
I haven't met a fox.
Okay, so it's like this high-pitched barking meow noise that's very unbefitting for the face. Anyway, I can continue this talk later. She starts towards the staircase.
Can Artemis come down the staircase now?
Are you done talking?
If he's done teaching for a day.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, your
Alright.
mind is just like, you know when you get out of math and you just
Yes.
you can like almost see numbers.
But she likes math.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying it in a bad way. It's just you can see arcane sigils like in the back of your eyes, and it's just like, I want to learn so much of the. And then you
Yeah.
get hugged all of a sudden, and your face is just in Serenity's chest.
No!
She's just She gives a little start and just pat Serenity's back lightly. Okay, yeah. I'm fine. What are you doing here? Where's Elizabeth?
Oh, she's back at the tavern.
Okay. She has like an armful of scrolls and quite a few in her backpack, but in her bag. But
Are
it's
they
kind
like
of closed.
overflowing a little bit?
No, a little bit, but she's
Okay.
she's trying to stuff them in so that people can't really see them, and she will. It's not working.
Hang on. Serenity will give her backpack. Here, darling.
Oh, thank you. And she'll stuff the scrolls that she's keeping in there, and as well as the bag that she's been carrying, and then walk over to one of the people over there and hand them some of the useless scrolls that she found, so that they don't.
They're like, oh, and you see Johan just kind of staring at you with this look that's just like, huh. All right.
This is your tower, isn't it?
Yeah.
I paid the toll.
Appreciate it. Yep, appreciate it.
And then she grabs a brick. I'm leaving now. And proceeds to make her way out.
She just walks out. Johan watches her, slowly looks back to Serenity, motions again to the leaving.
Serenity just throws up her hands and starts speaking in a language that I don't think anyone understands.
What language?
Anyone speaks Celestial?
As you're, are you cursing?
No, it's just like, oh, apparently everybody has lost their marbles today. That's just, everyone just decides to walk away mid-talk. Just don't mind me. Apparently I'm invisible.
Let me see here real quick. Just for fun. Just for fun. Okay. No response to that.
All I can think is like how best way to describe angry Celestial. What does a bell sound like when being angrily rung?
Ding, 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 ding.
Bing.
Serenity will
Bing,
catch up
bing,
to Artemis and
bong.
how stuffed is the backpack on her back?
Very.
It's gained weight. We'll just put it that way. In the most
So-
polite phraseology.
What's their
Bag is about 60 pounds now.
good lord? Once they're out of the force field and somewhat away from the tower, Serenity is going to fully catch up to Artemis, spin her around, grab her waist, and lift her up, and just put her over her shoulder.
I can walk. It's fine. Please put me down. I do not like this.
I'm going to say it's revenge for people consistently walking away from me mid-sentence, but fine. She'll set her down.
I didn't realize we were having a conversation. I didn't even know you were here.
You've got stars in your eyes, and you have that distracted look again, hun.
I was talking to the weasel. We were talking about magic. I don't get to talk about magic to many people because I could die.
She kind of cups her cheeks. You are adorable when you're enthusiastic and passionate, but... Sweetheart, this is what leads you to walking into walls.
What's wrong with walking into vaults?
Eventually your nose will break before the wall will.
Mm. I can heal it. It'll be fine.
She'll put her forehead to hers. Come on, lamb.
If you're gonna carry me, I'm gonna hurt you.
I set you down. No need to get violent.
I learned some new spells. They're very
That's-
interesting. I
That's
don't want to test
terrifying.
them on you. Good. And she'll continue walking.
Why is everyone being mean to me? What did I do today?
And then she'll let Serenity catch up again, grab her hand, and just lean up and kiss her cheek. I'm not trying to be mean. But I don't enjoy being lifted every time you want to walk.
I enjoy carrying you. She gives you this pout.
Oh,
You feel comfortable in my arms.
And she just kind of stutter for a minute. to get a little flustered. Later, and she'll just walk up a little faster now.
Like-
Serenity's smiling, but she'll keep pace.
So while you guys are coming back, Aurelius and Arvel are just kind of just drinking, just having a moment.
It's the vibe.
Vibe, yeah. He's not prying into anything. He's just like, hey, you want a drink? He's like, oh, fuck it, yeah, sure, I'll have a drink. After a little bit, he kind of like leans back and gets like kind of like nods, like hold on. And he gets some bread, breaks it in half, and hands half of it to him. Just make sure we can
Aurelius takes it, yeah.
keep our wits for later. Soak up some of the alcohol and all that jazz.
Yeah, that's fair.
Friendly sugar cookies are really good for that.
You are, you've got to be a busy man.
Me?
Ladies, yeah, you got 3 ladies traveling with you. One of them has all the energy of my niece, who is known for throwing gentlemen into the river because she thought that they had crooked noses.
Hold on, give me a sec.
And the other 2 are so... Oh, yep, he's being right back in 1 second.
Alright, I'm back. Sorry.
Back. You're fine. And the other 2 are so star-eyed, I'd swear that they were 2 lovers who were born in past lives, swearing to meet again, and finally having the chance to do so, but are also completely unaware of the fact that they are star-crossed lovers, needing to, please, for the love of all that is helpful, stop with the PDA. A public display of...
Pretty sure.
All I've done is lean on her, you dick!
You're not there. He is grinning as he says this, as he's clearly being like very joking about it, as he just kind of like...
Yeah. Aurelius kind of chuckles at it, and he goes, I'm pretty sure that's the start of a book. Bring out a quill and some paper and start writing. You'll be a millionaire by the end of the night.
If only I could write that fast. My hand tends to cramp up after the 15th page.
15th?
Oh yes.
Man,
Granted,
I can build.
most of that is me writing the names of new customers who have asked for rooms to ensure that they pay up for the time that they are supposed to be here. Making sure to sign my numbers and my books and whatnot. We've been having a lot more, I suppose you could call it, weight put on us since Baichu took over.
Have I heard that name before?
Vaguely. He's actually going to explain a little bit more to help you with that.
Yeah.
Baichu's the leader of the Merchants Guild. All the merchants are the ones who run Amber, and well, when the merchants run things, you gotta make sure your books are in order. And he's ex-military quartermaster, so if there's a man who will have their books in order and then make sure that if you don't have your books in order, that you will get them in order, at least, well, he used to be sharper about that. Noticed a few people sliding some stuff by, and that's unlike him. Last couple of months, he's been a little bit frazzled. I'm sure he's just stressed.
There seems to be a lot of stress going around these days. He takes another drink.
Yep. He salutes you. Arvel salutes you and just takes another drink himself.
Yeah.
In all fairness,
Ex-military.
it's probably because this place is ready to burst out into a war any day now. But we've had like 30 years of peace, so you know, the tension's building, but it's like an undercurrent.
I remember reading about the war in my studies when I was younger, but I wouldn't know too much about it. I've been in fights before and long drawn out combat, but a war. He takes another drink.
Oh, yeah. Arvel takes a moment. There's like a like this moment where he just seems to kind of be like a little more distant, just for a moment, before he just kind of slowly, kind of slunks a little bit. And he pulls out another bottle and sets it between the two of you, but he puts 2 glasses between the two of you this time.
Mm-hmm.
He's just like, if you want it.
Of course. He'll join him. Yeah.
He's silent for a moment, just kind of like picking at his bread, eating it bit by bit before he just kind of exhales.
Yeah.
You're smarter than a lot of the lads around here. You've got the Cormundum accent, but you don't have that jump feet first into the dry riverbed mentality that some people have. I respect it.
I've learned to not do that. It tends to get me more trouble than it's worth.
Aye, that it'll do.
He gestures towards the stairs, like referring to his party.
Yeah, he just grins at that, just like, at least that's more of an investment. That's seeing if the wheel rolling down the hill gathers moss or not.
We'll see where it ends up.
Depending on, might be good places. Hopefully it's better than, well. Is it Arvel or? Sorry, 1 second. Trying to remember which inn you guys went to. Yeah, I think
You
we
gave
got
us
to
2
Ryder Drake's
options.
first. Huh?
Yeah, that's the one you get. That's the one.
Yeah, because you guys didn't go to the hollowed barrel because that was very clean. You guys were like, nah, the hearth. He just again takes just a few sips for a moment, just like he's mulling things over before he exhales, and is just like, the peace won't last. Not for anyone. You having this time with these friends of yours it's good. Boak and Targai. Well, the Smithies, you know them? You been able to check them out yet?
Yeah, I've been to both. He gestures to the sword. Got this from one, and he clanks the armor, like the shoulder pad of his armor.
Mm-hmm.
This from the other.
Yeah. Boak's got supposedly the best weapons, and well, Targai makes good armor.
If only they'd work together, then they'd make a fortune.
I've only heard rumors, but that was back when I was fighting. War does strange things to friends. Worse than to enemies, but
any conflict brings strains and challenges between friendships. It's the nature of conflict.
That's why goals can be so important. Compass, if you will. a waypoint to say we're going this way. If nothing else, gets them all moving. Not saying that you and they aren't moving, just I've seen it do good. And I'm sure once you all figure out where you're going together, if you're going together, you'll do alright.
I'm sure that they'll figure out where they want to go when the time is right. And I'll follow their lead. I might only get... I don't... I've never been a leader. I can help people, I can do things in that front, but I've never led anyone.
Ever tried?
He pauses for a bit, and his hand is kind of like his fingers like tracing the top of the glass as he's thinking. Once, 3 years ago, but things change, and he stands up and he says, I should probably get some exercise in or something. I need to walk around. My brain is too... I need to be doing things.
If you need some exercise and such, call it pay for the drinks if it eases your conscience on that, because I know some people can be like that. Out back there's a split and log. Split some wood until you feel that you're done.
I mean, you're benefiting from it, right?
Obviously. Means I don't have to split it later.
That's fair.
I'll give you exercise, pay for your meal, your drinks. No skin off
Fair.
either our nose, and it helps you out.
It's fair trade and service, I'll do it.
Axe will be back next to the woodpile.
And Aurelius nods to him, stands up and just starts chopping wood as he contemplates philosophy.
Yep. Okay, so when the two of you ladies return, you'll hear the chopping of wood on the side of the inn, and see that the inn is slightly getting a few more people coming in and out as it's getting more towards the later midday.
I'm gonna see
Artemis
if I can
kind
see
of-
who's... Go ahead.
Artemis kind of bounces on her toes. Where's Aurelius?
Oh, he was in the tavern.
Clink,
Clack,
chink.
clack.
There's
That's the
no...
sound of
There's,
that's the chopping wood sounds. I don't know how to do that in person.
there's no way. She goes to see who's chopping the wood. I'm assuming it's Aurelius.
Why wouldn't it be?
You're like a romance novel character.
He's doing it in full armor too.
Yeah.
Because this boy did not say that he got himself out of his armor. He's full armor, chopping wood.
My point still stands. He's over here. She looks at Artemis.
Artemis will just kind of bounce over on the tips of her toes. She's excited. Aurelius! I remember you enjoyed the arcane things that we found in the tower, correct?
He finishes chopping the block he just put up, and he pulls the axe into his hand and like holds it in place so it doesn't accidentally hit anyone. And yeah, and he looks over and he says, "Sorry, say that again."
Did you enjoyed the arcane writings that we found in the tower the other day, correct?
Yes, but I have no expertise in the matter. I'm more of a curiosity.
Yes, but did you want to indulge it?
Aurelius is he just kind of he he does the thing where he's just standing there blankly staring, just like trying to process if he wants to. He has paralysis.
He's like,
like, he's
wait,
not-
hmm.
He's not sure.
Artemis just kind of adjusts the bulging bag on her back, not at all recognizing any of this awkwardness in the least.
Sherney has like the most in love smile, just standing behind Artemis while looking at her.
I found out so much today. Would you like to know some of the things that I've learned?
He
Can I
puts
just
the
wait a
axe.
little bit another time?
He puts the axe down, and his brain is just like, give me a minute.
Another time?
Later, I guess. I can't brain not brain.
Okay.
In character, that is what he's saying too. He's like brain not it. I can think no.
Later. Okay.
The last thing that he says is he stands there and he's like trying to say anything at all, and he just goes, "Help."
Oh no. Aurelius, are you okay? She's just concerned now.
I'm not used to people wanting to share things with me anymore. This is kind of new to me. I don't know how to take it. It's drinks and food is one thing; those are essentials. But And he zones out again for a second, just like not really sure what to say.
I can wait.
And he thinks, and he eventually looks over and he goes, enchantments, I guess? Anything in enchantments?
Some?
Okay. Cool. Tight. Very nice. He's like... He's a lot more caught off guard than usual. And it's not because he's like, I think it's because he is so comfortable rather than him being uncomfortable. He's so comfortable, and then it's like, do you want to do the thing? And he's like, ah!
You remembered that I like this one particular thing? I will die for you.
Pretty much.
God, he's got such golden retriever energy.
Yeah.
Artemis just waiting there, kind of excited, but slowly losing the excitement because she wants to share the thing, but she doesn't want to overwhelm him at the same time.
He's like, yes, enchantments? Yeah. Yeah? Maybe?
All I can think is Sandal from Dragon Age. Enchantment!
You want to buy some potions? Gotta give it the rupees.
We can't talk about it out here, but we can go talk about it up in the room. And I can show you what I brought back.
You hear, you know that that sort of Dark Souls armor movement sound? You hear that like plate movement sound when he moves his head, looking towards the wood he's chopping, and then towards Artemis, back forth, and eventually he drops the axe. And he's like, you hear it clank on his foot as well, and he just ignores it and keeps going.
Dear God.
Amazing.
Artemis grins just real wide. Just kind of bounces on her toes again. And starts to go back into the tavern up to their rooms, gesturing for him to follow. She's very
Serenity has
excited.
been left this time.
Oh no, she wants Serenity to follow as well, but she's mainly focused on sharing it with Aurelius right now.
Serenity doesn't respond when you talk to her. She's just looking at Artemis like she's zoned the fuck out.
Serenity, are you coming?
Yes. Sorry. Sure.
Don't leave your mouth open, you'll catch flies.
What?
Right.
Don't leave your mouth open, you'll catch flies.
She follows after Artemis. She doesn't say anything. She's just bright red.
Aurelius, as they're going up the stairs, is just like, I'm pretty sure that only applies when you're on horse or carriage.
It's an analogy.
What?
It's a saying that basically means stop staring with your mouth agape.
People do that?
Yes.
I mean, Serenity just turns even redder a little bit ago.
Hurry.
With your mouth open?
Not my mouth open! Oh!
This is the case of the Aurelius whoosh.
Where's Bean Bean? I'm using Bean Bean as a shield for my face.
And then
Suddenly stable.
Aurelius, like, as they go up, is also going to, like, listen carefully for, Elizabeth. He heard the emo child tantrum door slam that I did as a kid.
Serenity's probably listening a little bit too, since she knows she stormed away.
At this point, Elizabeth's room is silent.
Oh. You two go on ahead real quick. I just have to talk to Elizabeth about something.
She alright?
I think she's just going through a lot of emotions right now.
Can relate.
I'll be right with you, Lamb, okay?
Okay.
You think one day she'll, like, as they walk away, Aurelius turns to Artemis and he goes, "You think one day she might try to cook you?"
Yes.
Why? Out of all the things that you would assume,
It's the lamb. It's calling her lamb.
Oh, he meant Serenity. I thought he meant Elizabeth. So I'm like, what?
Yes, and I can promise I won't taste very good. There's not a lot of meat on my bones.
Yeah, well, that seems like a her problem then, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, she might try and eat her one day, just not in that, but... I mean, what? Huh? I'm gonna knock on Elizabeth's door.
By the way, this is Aurelius 100% having a dry, sarcastic humor.
And Artemis just loving it.
So Serenity knocks on Elizabeth's door.
Yeah.
The door will open a bit, but it'll kind of swing open, but at the same time you'll watch Elizabeth walking away from the door as it opens.
She'll stay at the door. I just wanted to ask if you needed something to eat or drink.
When Elizabeth turns back to Serenity, she no longer has her cloak on, and she's in the middle of retying bandages around her right arm. I'm fine.
This is a very random question. How do you
Yes.
feel about animals?
I love them. I grew up on a farm.
I will gush about that later. She kind of scratches the back of her head. I lived in a very similar situation.
Isn't it great being farmers' daughters?
She'll pull Bean Bean out of her satchel.
Like, does like the long being lifted up and just extendo bottom legs are like dangling.
I know you're upset, and I know I cannot help with the emotions, but she will sit Bean down beside Elizabeth. Maybe petting him might.
Bean's the
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 weasel.
sable.
The
Yeah.
sable.
The sable.
And Elizabeth will start talking a few times before finally not looking at Serenity. Hold out her right arm where it's very obvious that the band-aids aren't wrapping correctly, and just, before you go, can you help me with this?
Sure.
And when she lifts her arms, or her arm, the bandages kind of unfurl because she just couldn't get them tight enough, and you'll see some very heavy scarring on the upper part of her arm, and if Serenity were to unravel the bandage further, I can explain it more.
She's gonna have to unravel it to do it right, probably, so...
Okay, well, you're gonna see what could best be described as a puncture wound in her right shoulder that, though healed, still looks very red and very painful. And there are multiple very deep cuts going down her right arm. And she just looks away from Serenity and holds her arm out.
She will start wrapping it.
Thank you.
It's no trouble.
The sable
Yeah.
moves around, like, proudly parades itself for a moment, moves up, like, pushes its way onto your lap, walks in like 15 circles, just circle and circle and circle and circle and circle and circle and circle, and then buries its face into the crook of your leg and just flops.
Oh. Hello.
He's very friendly.
I can tell.
There's a face
With her
into your leg.
with her left hand, she just absentmindedly starts petting him. Still not making eye contact with Serenity as she wraps her arm.
We all have our scars, love. It's nothing to be ashamed of.
One of these days, maybe I'll tell you the story behind them.
And I'll wait for the day that you trust me enough to do so.
I would advise you to continue breathing.
Never said I would hold my breath. I just said I would wait. She smiles at her.
I don't want to hold you up too long. I know you were just checking on me. You can go do what you need to do.
Oh, I'm fine with staying here for a few more minutes. They're talking about enchantment and magic, and she basically like swoops her hand over her head.
Elizabeth just shrugs her shoulder. It's foreign to me too, so.
Smash cut to like Artemis and Aurelius, like, and this one has a picture of a pony.
They're just having a good time.
And Artemis is just showing him, and it's like, and now I can shoot fire out of my hands. And look, look, look. She makes dancing lights appear.
Aurelius, being Aurelius, tries to catch them.
Oh my god, he is a golden retriever.
The best part about dancing lights, by the way, is that while you can make them little separate balls, you can actually make it into like a full, like, medium-sized light entity. So you can do like the cryptid in the middle of the night, just this glowing person just in the distance.
The way I'm gonna flavor this a little bit is that the lights go out like twinkling lights against the wall, and then she brings them into this ball and kind of swirls it around with both of her hands, then splits it apart, and then puts it back together like she's doing a magic show for Aurelius. Just
Yeah,
grinning. She's absolutely enjoying this. She's so delighted to have someone to show all of this to and just indulge it.
Aurelius, being the slightly dingus he is, walks up to the ball and tries to flick it.
And she lets him, and she lets it fly up into the ceiling, and it smashes, and it looks like stars scatter across the ceiling.
He's completely engulfed, like, ah! this whole time, in like a few, you guys hear a few rooms down, just clank, clank. Ah, whoa!
Dear God.
And Artemis is just letting out this absolutely delighted laughter. Not laughing at him, she's just happy.
Certainly
sure?
will.
You sure you don't want to go with her?
Do you want me to leave?
I don't know what I want, honestly. But right now I just need time to regather my thoughts.
She'll kind of, like, lightly pat her thigh and stand up. If you need me, I'll be in the other room. Watching them do Lord knows what.
Sounds like they're having a wonderful time, whatever it is.
Maybe
You hear
take care
another,
of Elizabeth.
you hear another into Elizabeth's leg. And again, not moving, just completely flat, just on your legs, just face buried in the crook of your leg, just like this. Yes. And it's like the most uncomfortable looking position.
My dogs do this. I know exactly what you mean. I will be fine. Go have fun with your girlfriend.
Oh, believe me, she's not going to know I exist for a bit.
You can still go have fun.
She nods. And she'll head out to Aurelius and Artemis and probably come in as Aurelius is fucking chasing the lights.
Clap.
This is like a Alphonse, like chasing. That's kind of what it looks like. He's chasing this light around the room, and he's actually like really gaining speed on it too.
And then she lets it like smash into him and just spread all over his armor. He looks like he's glowing a little bit.
You can almost see from the underneath the armor, like the actual like corrosion on his face for a flicker of a moment, and then it's like he looks over and he goes, how's the yep, words.
Ha.
She pulls the light back.
Serenity's going to sit down on the bed and just watch this, and I will be right back.
Mhm.
Okay.
Aurelius, like, what are we gonna do? Like, once we're done here, by the way.
You guys,
I have.
out of character, just to remind you, because this was technically yesterday, you had
Mhm.
spoken to Gadai, and he had asked you for some help to try and free him from his crystalline prison, and he gave you 3 different locations. There is a place in Dragonsby that has a tower on the 7th floor that has dragon bone. You'll know it when you see it, is what he said. In Landfall, there's a tower on the 8th floor, is a bottle of Link that is labeled with octopus with a question mark on it. And in Narrowby, there is another tower where on the 8th floor you'll find a black and purple crystal. And he needs those 3 items to hopefully get him out of this crystal, which he said he will pay you and take care of your troubles if you're willing to assist him in this.
Yeah. So for context sake, I'll just say that Aurelius is more or less repeating it.
Yeah.
And he goes, I want to know what that not octopus is. I want to see that. The Were you even listening?
Yes. She's still distracted by the magic that she's doing. But she's nodding.
Aurelius does the thing that I do, where I just repeat exactly what I said, but in a different order.
And she just nods. She's taking it in. She's actually taking it in this time.
Yeah. And he once more says, I'm very curious about the what the not octopus jar thing is. Because it could be and he tries to find the right word for it. And then eventually he looks around the room to see if there's any books or anything, and he's just, I can't remember.
Aberration?
That, yeah, it could be that because they have tentacles sometimes. I think, I don't know. That wasn't my specialty. I specialized in demons.
Demons.
Yeah, I'm a demon hunter.
Really?
He gestures to his attire and like his equipment, and then
Oh, right. Oh, right. Paladin.
yeah.
You're a good one, though.
Not many of us left.
I know. Many of my friends were killed by paladins. But
Most of them
you're not
are.
them.
Aurelius just like quietly says, a lot of paladins have done a lot of bad things.
And there, she lowers her voice. The clergy has done many bad things.
I know. I know better than most.
I don't usually trust soldiers that follow orders. And so I appreciate you for not being one of those. And then she'll put another light, like just hovering over his hands.
Aurelius, his demeanor has seemed to shift. Like he's deep in thought, like contemplating, as he's like, like he's almost like trying to make the ball into a weave around his fingers.
Make wiggle.
Yeah.
And
She lets it kind of wiggle around his fingers, but she doesn't have as much dexterity control over it right now.
yeah,
Not a lot of practice yet.
and he sighs for a moment, and he asks, "Do you know the sigil that these paladins were wearing?"
She lets out a slow breath, looks at the ceiling, just kind of rubbing at her mechanical shoulder. Do I remember the sigil that they were wearing, Comp?
Roll a history check with advantage.
Ow! I bumped my kneesies in real life.
Don't hurt your kneesies in real life. Or in the game. But not in real
But
life.
But I could have been an adventurer like you until I bonked my kneesies.
23.
Alright, so the 23. You know that the image was that of a a boar that looked to be like the bars of a cage behind it, but in a way that almost made it look like it was a boar in a stockade almost.
I am back.
Welcome back. And
There was
they went by the name of the herdsmen.
The expression on Artemis's face darkens considerably.
I miss.
You'll know in a second. I'll repeat in a second. Let her finish.
Oh.
They were called the herdsmen. They had a sigil with the boar with stripes? No, bars behind it.
He swore.
Yes.
Roll a history check with advantage, Aurelius. Or religion check with advantage. Your choice.
I have advantage in I have like proficiency in neither. That's hilarious.
Amazing.
Can I make a roll?
You'd be making a straight check, yes.
Oh.
That's a 9.
You said history? I'm sorry.
History or religion?
Could I do a religion check after, or?
I'd say sure. I'll allow it.
Alright.
Feel attacked. He can do both history and religion. How dare no?
He's a paladin.
I'm a zealot.
So that's
Being zealot does not do that. Yes.
So that's a 22
That's a
for the religion.
Oh,
Nat
yeah.
20. So I guess from this perspective, I wouldn't know the historical information about them, but more the myths and rumors.
As well as some of the little bits that I'm going to get smacked upside my head. I can feel the hand revving up right now.
By who?
Don't worry about it yet.
Don, I'm gonna DM you something.
Sure, DM me something.
That paladin thing confused me.
Which
Artemis
thing
will look over at Aurelius and say, "They were called the heroes of Elorin."
I'm a
After
ghost. Sorry.
just kind of grab one of her clocks and rub it.
Serena will put her hand on her shoulder. She looks like she's getting frustrated or scared.
She's not frustrated or scared. She looks like she's starting to get angry.
Yeah, same reaction.
Shake her head. Squeeze Serenity's hand slightly before pushing it off very gently. Then squeezing it one more time, then letting go. It's fine. It's in the past. It's not fine. It's not fine. But
So what did? Sorry. You keep going.
no, it's fine.
What did Aurelius gain from that check? Really? Is he still?
Oh no, you know stuff. You know them
Alright.
to be the name, that the heroes of Elorin and all that rings with you. And as sorry, Paris is still messaging me. Hiss all you want. I'm expecting more hissing in a second. As part of their almost the mythos that you got with it is that they various different deities that they are bound to, none of which have coincided with you and yours. Partly due to the fact that they were considered by some to be on the more extreme side of certain things. To the point that you actually have heard about these people ritualistically branding their oath to their skin to memorize it.
How dare you? How dare you?
I will, out of character, message you what type of paladin you would know that to be the oath of.
I didn't come into this chat to be attacked.
Well, you kind of have a big target asking to be attacked, and it's just so fun to push over. I don't even have to shoot it. I just tap it.
You're mean. You're mean.
Aurelius, his demeanor once more seems to shift. He's gone from a melancholy, inquisitive mind to one of internalized, like, how best describe? As he looks in front of him, just blankly, there's a cold fury to him. Just thinking about the information he's learned now and information that he already knows.
The realization that they are related to her injuries, effectively.
Yeah.
Did someone
And-
please fill me in? Because you both look very angry.
They're a particular group even considered extreme by standards of a paladin.
And mercenaries.
How best put into words? Have you heard of the Paladin's Oaths?
This is something you would know, Paris.
She'll nod her head.
Would Artemis know? She probably would, but I'm asking.
Roll a religion check.
People that trained me tried to have me take oaths of my own. It just didn't work.
Yes.
Sorry, I still have it on advantage.
18 still good enough.
So yes, she does know about the paladins, so she'll nod.
And
Okay.
that does differentiate some of the different orders based off their oath.
There are some orders that hold multiple oaths, like the order I once hailed from. And then there are orders who fully lean into a particular type of oath. The type you were dealing with was the Oath of Conquest. Do you know what that entails?
Now that he said it, do I, Don?
Mm-hmm. You know their reputation, too.
Serenity shudders.
Artemis kind of sits up a little straighter, but she's stiffening. Yep. And then her flesh hand, her knuckles are white as she's digging her nails into her hand.
Artemis.
Taking. Destroying.
Unclenched, hon.
No.
She has every right to be angry so long as she does not unleash it right now, then we'll be okay.
I'm not telling her to calm down. I'm more concerned she might pierce her own skin.
How
These
strong
things
do you think I am?
People become very strong when angry.
Artemis will hold out her hand and slowly unfurl her fingers.
You get little, like, marks of, like, where your nails dig in, but they're not, like, super...
They're not...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her nails are always very short.
Mhm.
It takes a lot to actually dig them into skin.
When Serenity says people become very strong when angry, she looks at Artemis like, I would fucking know.
Aurelius also knows, but he doesn't say anything. You see him once more looking away in thought, and he's looking at his own hand. Serenity would recognize it as he's looking at his corroded hand. And he clenches it, and there's a glint of there's a shift of light around. There's a shifting of light around his eyes. If you, depending on your passive perception.
Perception.
Yeah, you'd
I think
be able
mine's
to.
like 12.
Yeah.
Not quite.
Mine's 16.
Yeah, Artie, you'd notice the flicker of red in his left eye as he clenches his fist, and his head kind of shifts, the armor clanking a bit.
Serena will
And
lean forward and touch his hand with her free one.
and he looks to Artemis, and he goes, "If any of them come our way, I'll handle it." You've never heard him in such a deep, cold, almost heartless, emotionless voice.
I hope you don't expect to do that alone.
I don't expect anything. I know how dangerous they are. I know the potential. And because of that, I know my enemy. And
I
by
know
knowing
them
my
very
enemy,
well too. I was lucky I survived. And this is something that she has not told Serenity.
Hmm.
we
Okay,
stick
so-
together. If we stick together, then I won't be too far away if something happens. If they kill you, I'll seek vengeance as well. This is an injustice. The way the clergy's been running for eons is unjust.
Centuries, at least.
There has to be a change.
This is the law of Denziel. That's why I'm here.
Can't change this alone or overnight. If things are to be better for everyone, then it's going to take time. But for now, the most I can do is make sure that if they arrive, I am there and able to do something. And I swear to you. And he holds his left arm. I swear to you that I will do everything in my power to prevent them from hurting you again. He puts his arm down, and he
Aurelia?
lets out a sigh, and he says, "I think it's about time I show you something." And he reaches for his helmet, and he takes it off, and you see the corrosion on the left side of his face. And if his face wasn't as morphed or as it was, this would be a very handsome person.
Yeah, you are.
Like, homie looks like if Robert Pattinson and Henry Cavill were like a single person.
Just a little crispy, huh?
Yeah. And he looks over to Artemis, and he shifts his head, and he goes, "I too have been scarred by the clergy."
I kind of moved the fingers of her robe of her mechanical armor a little bit, and then give a nod. Not like they've done right by anyone around here.
Doesn't mean
You
I
should look
won't
back
use
at
their
Serenity.
resources against them.
I'm sorry, what?
And then she'll look back at Serenity.
What languages do y'all speak?
Abyssal, Common, Deep, Speech, and Infernal.
Elven, Common, Sylvan, Dwarvish, and Gnomish.
So, Aurelius will understand this. You hear Serenity and Abyssal say while she's kind of gripping the area in front of her stomach, "We're killing them."
And when you say that, Paris, you hear a purr in the back of your mind. I've told you.
I'm sure you
Alright.
have. I was just hoping for the best.
Aurelius, not recognizing that there's another conversation happening,
Mm.
responds in Abyssal. And he says, count on it.
She looks up. And she looks over at him, because if I remember correctly, she didn't know he could speak Abyssal. And in that language, she'll ask, "Why do you speak this?"
I hunt demons.
She turns a few shades paler. And grips the area in front of her stomach even more.
Aurelius, remembering back to the tower, knows that she has something inside of her. And that, like, you know, so on and so forth. And he remembers the deal, or like what he said to her about if she gets out of control and, like, does, like, something horrific, he would be the one to stop her. And I think in his mind, he realizes that what he just said put a whole lot more weight on the actual, like, capabilities and, like, capacity and proficiency in him being able to do such a thing, if it were to come to that. And while normally Aurelius would try to comfort her in some way, the way Aurelius is talking and acting right now is very different to how he was. He's almost shifted into a mentality of like a soldier, or of like someone who's surviving, or like pure cold reasoning and logic. There is no emotion left behind him. It's kind of like a dissociation in a sense, where he's almost forcing his emotions behind him as he's speaking. Like he himself is holding a lot back. And he has been for a long time.
She nods her head. "I'm going to head outside for a minute." And she will stand up and exit the room.
Aurelius looks over to Artemis. And he looks over his equipment, just checking to see if he still has something. But he can't find it, and he goes, "Must have lost it on my way here. Oh well." If you need me, I guess, just call for me. I used to have something for this, but... And he silently stands up, walks over to her, kind of ruffles her hair like a big brother. and then and then walks out. But he turns back and says, "Oh, and one more thing."
Face
He
kind
do-
of pinches a little bit when he ruffles her hair, just kind of wrinkling and just giving him a look, but it's good humored.
My hair.
keep this down low, because
Mine
people
too.
see this and they freak. He puts the helmet back on and he walks to his room.
I rather like your face.
I wish I could say the same. And he goes off. All right. That was heavy RP.
Artemis will what?
Artemis looked back at Serenity. She's like, I should probably explain what happened to you, shouldn't I?
Serenity left.
Oh, she left.
Oh, she left.
She also left. She said she needs some air.
Oh yeah.
Serenity
Artemis
very
will realize
quickly said, "I need some air," and fucking basically sped walk out.
Artemis will go around the room. There's still a little bit of light flecked against the ceiling, the wall, and floating around her. Realizing she's alone.
Oh, poor baby. Okay. Aurelius is going to
She'll get up and close the door.
Would Artemis be aware of Serenity beside her? Like her mental state?
Oh.
I'm saying is Artemis more in like, I only notice what's in front of me mode, or in normal Artemis mode?
Artemis is in emotionally vulnerable mode right now. She noticed, yeah, she's kind of hyper aware of the people around her right now. But everyone left.
So now she's hyper aware of herself.
The reason I ask is because Artemis knows Serenity that this is the same way that she left the first night they were here in the tavern.
Aurelius is also going to go back down and keep chopping wood.
All right.
Full plated armor, like full armor, by the way.
Of
He's-
course. Not changed out.
Full
You're just
armor.
like, all right. Marvel doesn't question it. He's just like it's his way of dealing with all this stuff. It's the
Aurelius is just like, this is the way.
it's the trauma dump day.
Yay!
Yes.
I need an empty spot. Is there anywhere in this city, or do I have to go outside?
Just empty as in completely silent, or
Completely empty, completely silent, completely devoid of people.
it'd be more towards the edge of the city to out of the city.
You probably head out of the city then.
So you're still near enough to it.
This looks like no one's coming here, correct? She's trying to find a hidden spot.
Not for the moment.
I'm out. You're ignoring me now, then. I need your help. Please come out. Referring to Victus, rather.
Oh, no. I'm aware of who you were talking to. There. A little politeness didn't kill you. Not a dog to be called any more than you are. So, what's on the menu?
I need to be stronger. I need more of your power.
We can certainly work with that. It'll take time. Can't just give it all to you. Your body doesn't adjust properly. I could tear your arm off. I could sew it back on too, but that's a bitch to do, and I'm lazy. But I know
Sacrifice.
why. Sacrifices will be made. I can tell. But you're not going to jump into the middle of their hallowed grounds. Not yet. You've got plenty of time to practice.
Then let's start practicing.
Very well then. And you two will begin practicing.
That's my excuse for the fucking brawny feet.
Fair. Meanwhile, a messenger goes up the stairs and knocks on Elizabeth's door.
Bing
She
bong,
will,
bitch.
she will very gently gather Bean Bean into her arm and answer the door.
Oh yeah, she still got Bean Bean.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's still got Bean Bean.
Bean, like when you pick them up, kind of like wiggles around and just kind of flops on their back, like looking up at you with this look that's just like, where are we going? What's going on?
My favorite gif of the sable is when like someone's holding it up its upper half and it's just looking forward for all of a sudden it just like tilts its head completely back.
They're just like, so where are we going?
She'll kind of give the sable a smile as she opens the door.
The person at the door gives you a little nod.
Can I help you?
No, but the carriage is ready for you now. They will motion for you to walk and follow them.
Give me a moment. She'll quickly go back into her room, put Bean Bean on her shoulder, her left shoulder, and put her cloak on and head out the room.
All right.
And follow.
Yep, they lead you down the stairs, and there is, in fact, a carriage out there. And they hold open the door for you, hold out a hand to help you up into the carriage.
She gives the messenger a bit of a tilt to her head, questioning, but gets into the carriage.
And you, as you sit down, you see the familiar face sitting across from you. I mean, Bean Bean's currently with Elizabeth. You didn't go back and get Bean Bean.
Yeah, Serenity didn't go and find Bean Bean, so Bean Bean's on the carriage ride.
She's not leaving the party, Paris. Also, you can technically just snap Bean Bean out of existence and snap Bean Bean back into existence, so Bean Bean is always with you.
Do you want to do that, Paris, or do you want
No,
Bean Bean going with me?
She doesn't know that Bean Bean's left yet.
No, that's kind of like, oh no,
You are bound to this Bean Bean with the Find Familiar spell. So you can do all the Find Familiar stuff, but right now you are currently training.
She left Bean Bean as emotional support animal.
Yep.
It still technically is.
Yep.
So you were saying?
Yep. You see the familiar face of your thievish employer, the boss. Not like decked out super officially, but like definitely in like classy attire. As they see you and they motion to the messenger who nods, closes the door, and you hear them get up and start up the carriages. It just kind of rumbles. It's got actually quite a bit of suspension to it to keep it very smooth, surprisingly. And he just kind of stares for a moment before slowly exhaling and leaning back. How are you
This was
feeling?
not. I know I wasn't in the best of moods when we last talked,
Certainly not.
but you kind of left me on a cliffhanger.
I need to gather more information. Dates, locations, as well as to make sure that when I come back that I'd be able to more adequately answer your questions. Giving you half-truths of what I might know is not what you are asking for. You
No,
work
it's
for
not.
me, and while we are a particular guild, if I do you a disservice, it will simply cause you to feel you should do me disservice in kind. And that will simply not do.
That's something we can agree on.
Good. So, ask your questions.
I need to know what rumors were said about me.
I double-checked on those rumors. They said that you were last seen near where the nobles were murdered.
I didn't murder anybody. They were alive when I left.
I had people look into that as well. And according to what I've heard, they didn't die in the square where you fought them. They died after. But when you do not know when or how someone died specifically, rumor alters time. And so their deaths wound up back in that square.
And I'm the only one to blame for this?
You were the only one to walk away. All the others had to be carried away. You were not the only survivor, mind you. But the other survivors, well, they seemed to know better than to speak on the matter, if you catch my meaning.
They literally threw me to the dogs, didn't they?
Less throw and more didn't bother stopping those who had the chains to release them. At least they be run before them as well.
It was their idea. This whole thing was their idea. I was just doing what he asked me to do.
And because of what's happened, Corvin is thriving.
It is?
He has a very sad expression, like a smile of someone who knows too much.
Are you just waiting for me to ask certain questions, or are you just going to tell me?
No, I will tell you. It's, again, being forthright without being condescending. You are a very intelligent person in that you understand things, but I deal with many different echelons of people. The nobles of the market districts to the thieves of the tower. I cannot guarantee what I say makes the most sense, and I prefer not to say it more than once if I can help it.
Understood.
Obviously, that doesn't always happen, and I am forced to take the words into a new understanding, a new light, if you will. And I
know that all too well. Just to say I understand.
Of course. And I don't know you well enough to say that I can simply speak freely in one way or another way, or even another way. And I am not asking for you to tell me. What I've heard of you tells me a bit, but it does not give me everything. And I do not need to know everything.
How about this? Speak to me as if I am just a farmer's daughter.
Very well. At the end of season, you burn your crops
Correct.
to make fertile soil and to make sure that you can prepare for next spring.
Mm-hmm.
War is not the burning of crops in an actuality, but there are those who treat it as such. They look at the world and say, all it will take to make it better is to simply burn what is done and start anew. And where there is war and conflict, those who are in the market, weapons, armor, poisons, food. Each of those industries, hells, even clothing was an industry that is required, making blankets for when it gets cold. All of those businesses increase in their necessity. Now, this doesn't mean that sometimes certain groups will attempt to take more than their share, but those who do so tend to find themselves losing favor amongst people, and if they do take to a position of power, they'll only have it for, well, so long. After all, if you elect a goose to rule the hen house, it is not a hen, but it can still bully them. They use you to start an industry. War. And they are now profiting off of it. And I do not mean your group specifically in this case.
Was it Von Sterling? The person I worked for?
I haven't heard his name brought up.
Oh, thank God.
It is possible, though.
Whose name did you hear?
One second here. Pulling it up.
Ah. I'm pulling mine up too, so I know what you're talking about.
I've heard the name of one of those who died.
Which was?
D'Artez.
That son of a bitch was one of them that died?
He was explicitly murdered.
I just kicked him off me.
I didn't say by you. This one is a grapevine. A hearsay, he said, she said, they said. But from what I've heard, it was blamed on you.
Of course it was. What happened to him?
His chest was split open and his heart removed.
Good Lord.
The grapevine thinks it was his father.
That family has been nothing but trouble. Nothing but trouble to me and my family.
My question then is, what did he do that would cause such a violent reaction, or to cause people the people who made this event fall on your shoulders, why did they make it seem as though this particular person should have such a violent death?
I don't know how much you know of Corvin. I
know
know
a
it's
bit.
all. I know it's. You only get certain information.
Well, I will say this to help assuage your fears, or at least your lack of knowledge. Do you understand the differences in guilds?
I do.
Good. Then you understand that some will ban or forbid some practices while focusing more fully upon others.
Mm-hmm.
In my practice, we do not assassinate. We do not act as blades for hire. There's too high of a chance that one might get a little sidetracked or get caught, and, well, you know the saying, no one saw you if everyone is dead.
I know it all too well, unfortunately.
The problem with that is that if you kill everyone, it sends a different message than might have been intended, and then people get upset. It's your problem now, and we simply don't have time for that. What we have time for is information. As I've said, I was able to reach out quite quickly to get information about the blackouts and about the situation in Corvin. I've heard rumors of the whispers of Halo. I even know about the, well, not the exact location, but the rumored locations of, oh gods, give me a moment. This is me out of character. 1 second.
You're looking at nicknames or real names?
No. This is an actual character name.
Okay.
I know rumors of the vagabond of Corvin, Kalir.
Really?
Roll a history check on that one.
I remember you mentioning that being a thing.
Yeah, go ahead and roll.
History?
Yep.
Okay.
I will say this, you already do know that the name Kalir is associated with...
Nat 20, baby!
Oh, yeah. Kalir is associated with another rumor, the rumor of the Iron Wolf.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Paris, everyone from here is a rumor.
No, I don't have to tell you anything yet. I don't have to tell you anything yet. I'm aware. I don't have to tell you anything yet. No.
You're gonna just argue with Paris for a second.
For a second, yes. No. I'm in the middle of talking about Kalir. Chill.
Guys, let me
Still
show off my
typing.
cool NPC.
I will send you 1,000 bread loaves.
Later, yeah, that's a threat. I'm aware. Later, chill. This is about Kalir at the moment. So, Kalir has a reputation as a person who understood Corvin better than it understood itself, and as a person who pulled off the greatest heist of Corvin, where she stole effectively years of technology, put it together, and then left. And just started wandering. What she apparently did with this technology was she turned it into a set of armor that she had been using to assist in various goings-on in different areas. Even purportedly even showing her face in places like Halo and Tamdolf for a time before she left. There was a point when she had been rumored to be selling some of the technology, but that rumor was then put down when Kalir herself showed up and effectively scattered the rumor.
Mm-hmm.
she's a half-orc woman who she gets shit done, apparently.
Sounds like
I
it.
like her already.
One of the other things is that the most recent thing that you've heard about her goings on is that apparently she has a horseless cart
Huh.
that she drove from part of Cormundum towards the Cracked Isles. And the next time people saw her, she was on a very strange, oddly shaped boat heading south.
Okay.
Hold on, I need to pull up a thing real quick. Where is?
For some reason, my computer's volume decided it just wanted to jump to 100 and scared the piss out of me when I rejoined.
Hi.
Hi! Hi! Bean!
Bean just flopping onto your shoulder, just like, "Hi, I'm still here."
Elizabeth just kind of reaches a hand to pet Sable that's halfway under her cloak.
Bean Bean's probably like moving around on the floor of the carriage and then it's like, oh shit, I'm a quadruped. As it slides.
Oh no, it's just on her shoulder, just like flailing a little bit, but also like more like, I got an itch, and this is just like, ah, and then just relaxing.
I love weasels just because weasels are like noodles, no bone, only baby.
Basically, yeah. So yeah, hearing that someone has even an inkling of her whereabouts is it's an impressive feat.
And it shows on Elizabeth's face.
He kind of seems to kind of vaguely smirk at that, just kind of like, I'm glad you realize the gravity of that. Good. Then that should imply to you just how deep my fingers move into information trade. Stealing's more of a hobby for some, and that's fine. But information, I like information. Lets me help people and hurt others, depending on what's needed.
I have another question if you would be so kind as to answer this as well.
Depends on the question.
Was it just Midnight that came to speak with you?
Yes. It was a few months ago, and we made sure he left before checking every area that he had been.
What did he say, if you don't mind me asking?
He asked about you. If you had come through, if you might be heading in this sort of direction. He doesn't know about my proclivity towards gaining information. I didn't want to give him an advantage.
Did he mention me by name or by nickname?
Are you an archer?
I am not, no.
Then he mentioned you by name. Likely to prevent me from quickly associating you with him. Following that back and getting information, and well, it would have worked until you showed up. And then I made the dots connect.
Well, you could have traced that name back to some trouble in Corvin too, at least the last name.
Trust me, I did.
So you know
bits of trouble.
my father,
I'm
my
sorry.
brother.
Yes. Well, your brother's I don't think you want to hear about that.
Are you sure? I haven't heard from him or heard of him going on 6 years.
You've also been, well, more on the run recently. It's kind of hard to go and say hello to Father Dearest and to Little Bro when you're trying to hide, isn't it?
Not like they would have noticed if I was there anyways.
They did notice your departure.
They
But then,
did.
oh yes, their crops and their livelihood took a dip first year you left. It was almost
The
like
last-
you've been actually doing something worth a damn. Ain't that fun to know?
As much as I hate him, as much as I despise him, I don't care if it's just rumor. What happened to my brother?
Oh, he's alive. He's
Well-
part of the war. At the insistence of your father.
Of course he did.
Actually, it turns out for the best. Another faction came through, scooped up your father and mother, carted them away. Likely
Mom
still
got
alive.
brought into this?
Well,
My mom got brought into this?
They came through. They didn't look for soldiers. They looked for people of, well, any manner of worthfulness, and she had enough skill in, well, craftsmanship. Enough, not to say that it is good craftsmanship or bad craftsmanship, just enough to be useful.
My mom was just a farmer's wife.
She is. And she is a scared woman who is doing her best. And last I've heard, she's, I wouldn't say thriving, but she's making the best out of what she is doing.
So my brother's actually doing something for once, and my parents got taken up.
Last I heard about your brother, he's having a coming to God moment, if you will. War will do that to anyone, sadly. My condolences.
He and I were not on the best of terms. I
Even
don't know if
so,
I feel sadness for it or not.
take time to process it. Whether you do or do not, you do have my condolences.
I have one last question, and then I think I will need time to process everything.
Speak.
And I'm going to mention him by name, not nickname, because I'm to that point where I can't even remember nicknames. And that is just a warning to the DM.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard anything of Vlastimir? And when she says it, her eyes are cold.
Mm-hmm. He kind of like rubs his chin. It won't make you feel better.
I need to know.
Oh, I didn't say I wasn't going to tell you. I'm just warning you that this first bit, you're not going to feel better about it.
Okay. I've been warned.
He didn't get off clean.
Oh. Really?
According to what I heard, either he didn't get off clean, or there was a bit of the war that caught him in a vice. And he lost his arm. Well, elbow down.
She kind of chuckles and just kind of tilts her head. It wouldn't be the right arm, would it?
Yes.
Good.
He's still
Good.
supposedly just as dangerous, but that might just be due to, well, how things have picked up around Corvin and the necessity of keeping people capable or active. But yes, he lost an arm. And
Excuse me while I don't cry a river over that.
As I said, wouldn't make you feel terribly better, but at least gives you a chuckle.
Mm.
At least that's what it seems you're getting. Wasn't sure if you still felt something.
It was a lie. It was all a lie. I don't care anymore.
Some lies carry truth, but only he can say. And I don't think.
Would you trust him?
Well, I don't care about trusting it myself. I think you don't trust a word he would say now.
I shouldn't have trusted it back then. And look what that got me.
I don't know much about him, so I can't say myself.
Everything you've heard about me, all the rumors, all the things I've done was his idea. He didn't get his hands dirty for that.
One of those, then. Understandable.
He's got a way with people. We'll put it that way. Him and the lovely Midnight that visited you.
Quite charming. I wanted them out of my presence as quickly as I could.
He didn't try anything, did he?
Oh, he tried several things. I imagine he would have gotten away with more had he been allowed. He was very much one who needed a hand under the arm to escort him out, if you catch my meaning.
Who did he try to pull something on? Because he had to have tried.
Oh, several people. One of the things he actually tried, apparently, had been to do with Baichu. Our leader. He makes like a leader with like this grandiose gesture. Clearly meaning he's like, yeah, he leads, but like, I listen.
Since Elizabeth was the one to talk to both of the guild, those two people, would she remember Baichu?
Yeah. Because you met him. Yeah, you saw him. You
Yeah.
spoke with him vaguely.
So she'll kind of make a gesture to her chin going, the guy with the beard?
He used to be better, but, well, some say that it is the war catching up with him, but others say that he had been sent or given something, because his entire demeanor has been deteriorating. And he seems to claim that it is, at least in the privacy of his own room, that he is cursed.
Was this after or during Midnight's visit?
Roundabout.
Gotta be kidding me. So he's learned some new tricks, I see.
I would highly doubt that he did this. At the very least, that if it was something of his doing, that he wasn't the one who created a curse.
Oh, no. He never works alone. That's why I asked if there was anyone else.
He seems to ponder for a moment and just kind of have this kind of sly little smile like, seems I have to delve a little deeper then. If there was another, and I missed it, well, can't have that.
I don't know how big their numbers are. I can't say they all look like me in attire.
Considering what Midnight looked like, I can certainly promise you that you will not all look alike. I've never seen someone dress so gay before.
At that, she fully laughs, going, "He didn't like the normal get-up. He never did."
I could not imagine someone who had that much on them that looked like he should not be as quiet as he was. So many little bits and bobs. to
And they
announce
all
his
do
presence.
something.
Mm.
They all do something.
Or another, I would imagine. But yes. Now, before I let you process this all,
Mm-hmm.
I do have a question for you.
It's only fair.
What did you find in Cat Tower?
A lot of magic shit I didn't understand. We got to an area I couldn't figure out how to move. There were no stairs. I don't know what else to tell you.
Is that it?
Are you thinking I'm holding out on you?
Yes.
And what makes you think I would hold out on you?
Because I had people follow your group, and there was a point when you all disappeared and did not have any presence for a time.
Of course you did.
I'm a man of information. Of course I did.
So depending on what information I give you, this carriage ride is not going to be a pleasant one.
Why wouldn't it be? It's less a matter of it being less pleasant for you. But consider, I have been nothing but forthright. I have given you every bit of information you've asked. If you do not wish to give me the information, the
I
ride
don't know
will
how to
end. Hold on, I will finish. The ride will end. You'll be left back with your friends, and we will cease communication. And Godai Tower will be closed to you and your friends. If you are honest, or at the very least, give me something worth my time, nothing changes. You will continue your employment, and we will continue to discuss information.
You won't believe me if I told you.
I like the grapevine. They spin such wild tales. Spin me a tale, Elizabeth.
We found a weasel.
He just kind of like tilts his head slowly and grins with this look of like he's like kind of gives you this motion like go on.
And, well, actually, I think the weasel found us.
I'm sorry, I just imagine we found a weasel, bean on her shoulder.
This
Just peeks out.
I was about to say, like, as it like peeks up, looks around for a second, and then just does the whole like no bone flop upside down head, just like just looks at it
And
just
Elizabeth will point to the one on her shoulder, going, "Not this one."
like I didn't imagine it was, but go on.
There's a lot of magic in that tower,
Mm.
and I can't explain it, or I would sit here and I would tell you the truth because you've been so truthful to me.
Just what you can. As I said, spin me a tale as you can tell it.
There's a lot more in that tower that I don't think anybody that you work with would be capable of getting to.
Maybe not yet, but in time perhaps. But go on.
You're not alone.
Oh.
Quiet serenity, I'm not saying everything.
Oh, I'm saying, oh god, because my mom called me and scared the shit out of me.
Okay, okay.
I was like, I'm not telling everything.
Go on.
Did you think the tower was empty when you took over?
We learned quickly that it wasn't, but those were centuries. Guardians.
I'm not just talking about those. Like I said, I have no understanding of magic. I can't explain half the crap that happened when I was fighting up there yesterday. But there is something very powerful in that tower. And I just... Be careful. Please.
He leaves there be a moment of silence. As he's clearly just kind of tapping his fingers on the back of the carriage seat that he's on. Mulling it over.
You're asking a farmer's daughter who doesn't understand magic, has one bit of magic to her name, who still doesn't understand how it works, to explain what she went through yesterday, and I can't. I talked to a fucking weasel.
You spoke
Okay?
with it.
Yeah, it understood me. I said hi. It said hi back with a wave.
He leans forward. Intrigued. Kind of like nods slowly.
I don't know what else to tell you.
That.
The weasel gave a finger wave. It freaked me the hell out.
That might be all I need to know for now. If you speak more with your friends and have them explain what they know in ways you can understand, perhaps you will have more to tell later, but I do not wish to worry you or trouble you further. That should be enough for the moment.
Before you take me back to the tavern, I'm sure we're not very far away from it.
Not far at all, no.
We're not going to be in town for much longer. We've got things that we need to do.
No, certainly not. And he reaches into a pouch and he pulls out a face in profile. It's made of stone. He holds it out to you.
She takes it. What does Elizabeth see in the picture?
It's a stone carved like face in profile. It doesn't look to be like any gender, any person. It just has like an ear next to it, and it's like the mouth is very defined, like uncomfortably defined.
Mm-hmm.
This is a sending stone. I understand that you will be moving about. You may see things worth knowing. If you do see something, I would like to hear about it. And it may come that I may simply send you a message informing you about your family. Or, if I hear about the blackouts, I'm sure you would wish to know more about that as well. Yes?
I'd like to know where they are if you find word, because I don't want to travel near them at all.
Understood. Last I've heard, they're in Corvin, but as you said, if they've added to their ranks, you won't know faces or names, and getting those might be helpful as well. 25 words is a little bit of a difficult workaround, but we'll make it work.
I'm sure we will.
Anything you wish to say to me before we part ways?
Just thank you for the information that you were able to get me.
As I said, information is my business. And a certain level of honesty between employer and employee, transparency, prevents
Out of-
a sense of disloyalty.
Out of character.
Mhm.
I just realized something about Elizabeth that is probably proving that she is bullshitting this guy.
Oh yeah.
She's wearing the bracer she didn't have when she entered the tower.
Oh yeah. No. Out of character, he noticed it. He just hasn't commented on it.
He's a
Okay,
gentleman.
because she's been gesturing like crazy with her
gesturing like
arm.
crazy. Oh yeah, no, he's fully noticed the whole time. He just hasn't said anything. He doesn't have any need to. You earned it
Okay.
after all.
Oh, that doesn't help me feel any better. Okay. I don't know when we'll be back.
That's fine. As
But-
long as you're able to learn and send me back tidbits. I will give you tidbits in return.
Fair is fair.
Fair is fair, indeed. And then you hear the churr of the carriage coming to a stop, and the messenger opening the door and pulling down the little steps and kind of standing by and nodding to you.
She'll go to get out and stop and look over at him. Just curious. Do you have a name to go by besides the boss?
I type. My name
Mickey.
is Mickey. I'm the Don, see? Like Donkey Kong and Donald Duck.
My name is John Johnson of House Johnson. I work at job at place.
Oh, God. I work a job at the Johnson's typewriters.
For your John and Johnson accessories.
The name you can call me by, and I will say you can speak this to your friends if you wish, is Nizanor.
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 So uncomfortably fucking close to Nuzlocke.
It got a little weird when I kept mentioning the boss and I kept getting stares from the group. So
He nods and just like, you now have a name. Something for them to attach themselves to.
for one favor for another. Since you gave me your name, when you are using the sending stone, you can use my real name.
He gives you again a light bow back, like a thank you.
It's only fair.
Very well.
And with that, she'll get out of the carriage.
You get out. Messenger puts up the stairs, closes the door, hops back on, and rides off.
What?
As you can enter into the
Enter
tavern
back
once
into the
more.
tavern and goes right to the bar for a drink.
What time is it roughly?
By this point, it is about sundown.
Have I gotten back?
I'd say you're coming back.
She just wants to torment Kendall.
I'll let you torment Kendall before we end session. Sure.
I mean, honestly, I might torment both Kendall and... Fuck. Mary. Fuck. Jesus, I forgot her fucking
Moth,
name.
Mary, Elizabeth,
Moth.
all of it works.
Go on.
For your information, Artemis is still up in her room with the door.
Oh,
No,
no,
this isn't for Artemis. This is for you.
Oh no, it'll be for Artemis, because she's coming to see Artemis, but Elizabeth sees it first.
Mm-hmm.
When Serenity comes back, what's your passive, Elizabeth?
My passive?
Yeah.
Which one?
Perception. Yes!
13.
God, my passive stealth beats that. So, you don't hear her, but you do see her arm at first when she kind of taps the bar. Ale,
Mm-hmm.
please.
Sorry, everything
She was
cut out.
asking. She's asking the barkeep Frail.
You're giving
When you look up at her, Serenity's a little bit bigger in terms of both height and the muscle definition to her arms, but ever so slightly. It's not noticeable until you actually fully look at her. The last, I want to say, inch of her hair has turned this deep, dark black.
Yo. Why did you
Elizabeth,
gotta describe her like that, man?
and you thought it was gonna kill me. Elizabeth will kind of look up from her drink, look Serenity up and down, kind of lift her glass like in a cheers, and turn back to her drink and take a sip.
Meanwhile, in the background, you just still hear the
Dunk.
She'll lift her glass to Elizabeth, down the entire glass, and then head upstairs.
and it's like in a perfect rhythm too. And I imagine the bard inside just like messing around with like, as he's
No!
writing.
When you're doing a monotonous task, once you hit that nice rhythm, it's so hard to get out of it, and then it's upsetting when you do fall out of it.
Oh no, yeah, the bard is like using that to like make sure that his beat and your beat are in sync, so that people on your side of the bar feel like the music is in time with itself, using your tempo.
You know the TikTok
That's
where the
so
dude
cool.
takes like rhythms from random ass videos and turns them into songs?
Yeah.
That.
I'm gonna knock them.
It's
Good.
like a tempo of boom, boom.
Perfect.
You ripping the logs and I'm gonna knock on Artemis's door.
Hermes
Full
is
on
just-
Captain America.
I was thinking more Disney movie like song where they time all the like
Yeah.
movements.
Oh,
and-
yeah.
you know?
Oh yeah. So you knock on Artemis's door.
Knock, knock, knocking at your door.
It's unlocked. She'll say so. She
Oh.
recognizes the beat.
She'll
She knows
open
how
the
you
door.
knock.
She'll open the door.
Does the beat sync up with the other beat outside?
Probably
I have no
accidentally.
Or does it like add a new like rhythmic layer to the
Trying to make that a little bigger C.
Sorry.
It's fine.
Oh, I love music that takes like mundane sounds and turns them into something. That's what I loved McGordon.
It's like a fucking hardware store.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Serenity will walk up to. Is Artemis sitting or is she like pacing the room?
She's kind of standing, but she's also looking a little bit burnt because she's been experimenting. She was left to her own devices.
She's just a little bit crispy.
Well, her hands are a little bit crispy, but it's more like they're smoking.
Is it like the cartoon, like black dust all over the face?
It's more like there's smoke coming out from the tips of her fingers, like she's been shooting.
Oh, okay.
Serenity will take her hands, and you can see like her nails are a little bit sharper than they were before. And you can just feel the healing that she does inherently kind of go into your hands.
Her brow for a little bit. They were fine. And then she's gonna take in Serenity, just looking her up and down slowly. What did you do?
She looks away.
Serenity?
I did what was necessary.
What did you do?
She has this guilty look when she looks at Artemis. I let him give me a little push to improvement.
Serenity. her face kind of crumples a little bit when she remembers why she left, and is able to quickly make the association to why she would ask for power again.
I can't
You
protect
shouldn't.
you unless I get stronger.
You do not have to protect me.
There are a lot of things I don't have to do, but I still want to.
I am not with you because you can protect me. It's not what this is about.
What good am I if I can't keep you safe?
You're perfect! Regardless of use.
We'll just stand there for a second before she pulls her into a very tight hug. I am far from perfect. I am a broken husk of a woman.
You don't know yourself like I know you. You don't get to be cruel to yourself like that.
And how do you know me?
I know you as a woman who is selling her soul little bit by little bit to a demon to protect me. I know
He
you as a woman
smiles.
who's been traveling me with me for 6 months, even though you barely know my story. You barely know who I am. But you still give a damn about me. You know me more than anyone else here. More than I've let anyone in a long time. And I've let you have that. That is not something you just figure out on your own. That is something I let you have. That is your opportunity. That is a privilege that I do not give to anyone else. If you were not worthy of that, I wouldn't have given it to you. Now do not act like you are unworthy of that. Do not act like you're not. I've let you know me. I'm letting you know me. I want you to stay. I may not be a good person, but I'm a very selfish one. About my time, about my person.
She kind of snorts at that.
Sneep, snorp.
And she'll lean down and put her forehead to hers. If that is what you wish, then I will do everything in my power to keep it that way.
Then stop being cruel to yourself. On my behalf.
I can at least explain this. He doesn't get a piece of my soul.
And
It's
what does
more
he get?
A little bit of a hug.
to get stronger, regardless of how I want this. I have to coincide with him. We share a body now, but that doesn't mean that we share it, if that makes sense. He gives me some of his strength. And I give him... She'll lift up her hand. I suppose leeway. I give in to more of the urges that I hold back.
Is he here?
He is always here.
Are you okay with him being part of this?
If it means that I get to keep you safe, then I am okay with anything. If it means I get to be with you and keep you with me longer, then I am okay with anything. You are one of the few times I've been selfish.
You deserve to be selfish much more than you permit yourself. As long as we stay out of Denzio, it should be fine.
She nods.
No one here knows who I am. No one knows what this means. She'll just shut her mouth. Denzio's a very private place. They don't like to seem out of line.
Let's try and keep it that way, shall we?
It would hardly be my fault if they were to fall from grace.
She will hug her again. Can we stay here for just a bit?
Okay.
She will pull her to the bed to cuddle.
Artemis is going to be looking at the wall. There's a tiny singe mark on it. She's going to kind of flex her fingers a little bit and prestidigitation that.
Ah, I missed a spot. Just
The
go
deposit
right
on the
back over
room!
Meanwhile, Aurelius has finally finished chopping his whatever he was doing, and he looks
chopping the firewood.
Yeah. He looks to his left, and there's a comedically large pile of wood next to him now.
Mm-hmm.
And without hesitation, he picks it up and and walks inside and goes, "Why do you want this?"
I want it over there. You see him point over, and there's like a moment where he lets you go over do it. He's like, I want the other half of it outside.
Okay, cool. And he literally what he does is he puts one arm down.
Yeah, he puts one arm down, sets it down. It's a good number, and he puts the other stuff outside. Yeah. As you're going outside, there's just this moment where he just kind of stares, and then there's Undersweat's just like, this is what I get for unsupervised workers. I love how productive they get. What the fuck? Why can't they always be this good?
Innkeeper literally sitting here like, oh yeah, just put it over. What the fuck?
He's like, man, this free labor worked out a whole lot more profitable. Man, I'm going to have to take that off his room. He's not going to have to pay a cent while he's here.
You know what, though? We can, attribute this lightly to his background as the Haunted One with the Heart of Darkness.
Mm-hmm.
But also because, man, this guy's just popping off.
Yeah, he's just having a good time. Apparently, he just likes hitting things. It's weird, but it's apparently fucking useful.
Real.
Oh,
Harry's literally doing the exercise for mental health thing.
Yeah,
and he's getting free drinks out of it. So
yeah, true.
He ain't. Yeah, so he comes back in, and he goes, well, what was the place that that the not hentai bottle was in?
The question mark bottle was in, should be in
Yes.
landfall, I believe. Let me double check. That should be in locations. Yeah, landfall.
Okay.
There's
Would
Dragon's Den,
Aurelius
landfall, and Narrowsby.
would Aurelius know which direction landfall is in? Just like in the moment right now, just like has he even been that way?
No,
Eastern?
that's towards the border. You've been more northern than even here.
Yeah.
This is
So,
the furthest south you've been.
Yeah. So he's probably he's gonna just make sure
Mm-hmm.
he knows where the party's gonna end up going.
Hang on. There we go. I was about to say, I'm like, boss, the roll 20. Okay.
Yeah, landfall's down here,
Sorry.
You're fine.
and
Yeah. So
nearby is here.
yeah. So he goes. We'll be heading eastward at some point, I imagine.
Oh.
Is there anything that we should really be worried about in that direction? Any news that's come through, rumors, anything?
I mean, nothing yet. Are you planning on going by Colossi Glide, or are you trying to make it yourself? Colossi Glide will have you going a bit more west, but still south, till you reach the split that would take you towards Hidewatch or down the road towards the crossing. There's a little town. It's not much. This wouldn't be on any map, but you get there, you'll be on the edge of the Colossi Walk anyway, so they'll effectively try and help get you to a point where there's a way to get across to the other side. If you try and go another way, well, you might have to climb all the way down, or if you have some way to fly, you might be able to get across, and that's not if you're harassed the entire way.
Aurelius is literally doing what I'm doing, like just standing in roughly the same spot, pacing back and forth, like he's that one NPC from a video game that's like, "Tell me what you know," and he always does that one idle animation while you're trying to decide your like while you're going. You know what I mean? You know what?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing that thing, and he eventually says, "I'll have to consult with the party of which the two directions."
If you head north, you can actually reach Seiski. It's capital of the country. You know that, I'm sure. Seiski actually has its own jumping off point across it. It'll be a much further way to go, but
it's safest option.
It would be the safest option just because you'd be because there's an actual major city near to that jump.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the Caucasus Walk can be a little perilous, but again, it's more a matter of, well, choosing your jump, as it were. Because even if you jump from the safe spots, there are still creatures.
Yeah, like regardless of which direction we go, there's going to be something. There's always something on the road.
Of course.
There was one time on the road where I just stumbled into a nest of I can't even quite remember. I just kind of fell in, and it was quite the trip out.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Is Aurelia saying this at the bar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Elizabeth is just listening to it.
Just like, what the
Yeah.
fuck?
I'm right here.
You're finally here, finally. But he'll be like, yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll see if there's anything else I can help you out with, depending on which way you guys decide you want to go. I'll put it on your tab. He kind of looks over towards the wood, looks back to you, kind of makes this half muttering under his breath before he's like, I'll see what I can get you in the morning. Sound fair?
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Good. And he sets a drink in front of both of you.
Yeah. Aurelius finally sits down.
Elizabeth picks up the new drink and kind of cheerses it over to Aurelius.
And
Aurelius finally realizes that Elizabeth is even here.
And that's why I look the way I do.
yes. And I'll say that as you're like, bit of reconciliation, taking your sips of your drink, while the other two are cuddling, I'll say that that'll be where we will end the session.
Alright.
Sounds good.
This was fun. Oh, also, on
Okay.
your sheet, there's a new thing. On
There's
the
a
right
thing?
side, yeah, new thing.
Oh, the short rest, long rest thing? Yeah, I noticed.
Yeah, I didn't notice that until it was pointed out in another chat, and I was like, what?
Hang on, I gotta see something real quick.
Yeah, you guys can mess with that later or as you wish.
Yeah.
I don't know what that will actually affect.
So, with long rest, if you're lower on health and you click it, it raises your health back up.
Yep.
And I think your spell slots. I don't know what the short rest does because I'm not a fucking warlock or a monk.
Yeah,
so-
short rest for a warlock just resets your spells.
At least it should. But I
Yeah,
will take
which
a
is
look
why
at all
Cat-
that.
It also
happens.
helps a fighter.
Oh, yeah.
That is true.
Fighter,
Yeah, it does.
monk, warlock, bards, inspiration dice. Wizard
Oh, yeah.
can get back stuff. Land druid.
Oh
can
no,
get
I
back
know
stuff.
what the short rest can do, like,
I mean,
with it.
obvious.
I mean, I don't know what the short rest button will
Oh yeah,
do.
no, that's what I'm saying. That's the stuff that I want to test later and see if that like resets those specific things or if it's just like what, But that'll be something to play with on our own time. In the meantime, I hope you all had a fantastic evening. This was the trauma dump episode.
This
Was it?
Everyone
I
just
believe
like,
my
here's my
trash goblin
backstory.
is so cocky.
Yeah.
This is the RP heavy trauma dump session with Aurelius being a slave laborer for a day.
Being fair, you were asked. You
This
could've
said
stopped
though,
at any point.
that there was a trade. There was a trade that happened, so it's not
So
quite.
it's not slave labor. It's interestingly long employment. He could have come out to stop you at any point. He just thought, man, he must have stopped chopping to go do something else. And then you come in with all this wood. He's like, nah, this boy just kept chopping.
You want to know what was playing in my head the whole time he was doing it? You know that house building music from the end of Red Dead Redemption 2?
Oh god.
That.
I haven't seen the end of it, so unfortunately, no.
I'll find the music because it's.
Yeah, for later.
Yeah.
But for the stream and for the viewers on YouTube, we do stream this bi-weekly on twitch.tv/WhatTeamComp. WhatTeamComp is for us as a group where we just kind of mess around, do stuff. I am usually the one streaming. I am Uncommon Guru. We will be streaming again on the 18th. We're trying to start our streams at around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We were a little late today just because one of ours had to take care of one of their
Stuff.
Stuff.
Okay, one of their stuff.
Yeah.
One of their things in their life, and we respect that people have personal things they gotta take care of. And we are very happy that we were all able to be here. This was worth it for everyone to be here.
Yes.
And I
So
hope
much trauma dump, so little time.
I know, right? And I hope you all have fantastic weeks. And until we see you next time, we will see you around. Take care, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.